Hi there boys and girls, going to do another video on the Helix. Just going to talk about using the Helix live. I've been gigging with the Helix now for a couple of weeks, a couple of pictures here. And this is my first thoughts on the unit. It's been fantastic, had no problems as you would expect, but there have been a few things that I've needed to tweak, and I'm going to talk about some of the positive things as well. Well, there's mostly positive things, but things that I find really useful and things that I've needed to adjust. First off, the thing I love about the Helix is that I've been able to use a preset here where I've got two different amp models. So, oops, let's get out of this mode. So I've set up my preset, and in my preset here I have this amp model here, and I can switch between the amp models on a foot switch, which is great. So my amp models here are, I'm using the Interstate Z to give me a bit of a crunchy tone. Sorry, wrong way around. That is my clean tone I'm using. That's my clean sound, and then my clean amp. But of course, here as well, I've got some other features. I've got the Timmy clone here, which I can switch in. Dirt going into the jazz chorus here, and then I've switched this off, and I've got my Interstate Z, or the Dr. Z on. So that's my kind of crunchy tone. So that's a kind of dirty tone, and then I can add a little bit more dirt here. Got another distortion pedal here, which I can't remember which one I used. It was the OCD clone, but now I've got the Minotaur, which is real dirt. Gain stage the two of those up if I want to into putting in. So that's that. So really versatile. This is a really versatile patch. Got the wah pedal here, got my delay on and off, got a modulation, modulation, no, I put a looper in here. What am I talking about? And I've then put in this, which is a little secret trick, which is the volume. I've got a volume block at the very end of my chain, which just adds about 4 dB of gain to the overall patch. So that's really useful. I mean, I've got boosts throughout the patch, as you can see. I've got gain staging. I've also got this mid, I've got an EQ set here to add a bit of mid. Kind of adds some more gain into the mid-range and also makes it pop out. But you never know when you're gigging if you need to just, you know, jump over the cliff when everything's a bit loud and, you know, everything's starting to compress in the unit. I can add in a volume boost. So that is really handy. That's a great little tip for you guys out there if you're struggling to get your solos heard or you're struggling with the patch levels. So that is my gigging patch. You've got this double function here of changing amps. That's what I love about this motor, and this unit is so versatile. Obviously here I'm kind of caning the DSP a little bit, but I've got, you know, if you're having problems with DSP kind of maxing out, you can always put more things on the top row. You can switch rows between things, which is really great. So yeah, I mean, I'm loving the unit. I found it really great. I love the fact I can do everything within one patch, or I can switch. I've got some other patches here which I can just scroll up and down between really easy. It's a big kind of difference over the amplifier where I had the mini mouse before. Not a criticism, I just, you know, this feat matches the way I kind of want to work. And I got the expression pedalers there. So the only downside with the gigging aspect of it is with all modeling amps, and you know, even with amps as well, getting your patch levels set right. And that just takes practice. Ideally, you'd kind of do it at rehearsal. Don't, you know, trust levels at home. It's really difficult to judge. It's really difficult to judge when you're not in a band situation how loud things are going to be, how loud your patches are going to be, and how much you need to tweak them. Obviously, bear in mind that, you know, clean sounds tend to disappear a little bit, so you need to pump those up. And then when you put an overdrive into it, it's like, whoa. It's all a case of trying these things out again and knowing what sounds you want. I have to use such a variety of sounds, it can be difficult to get things right in between patches. Also, the more distorted, the more gain if you're going for a really heavy gain sound, which I don't really have at the moment on any presets, because apart from a kind of Bon Jovi, so I don't really play that much melt at the moment within this band context. I would suggest that you don't, you know, the problem with those levels is you kind of crank the level up, but it's because A, the signal is really compressed, there's no dynamics in the signal. A lot of the mid-range kind of gets scooped out because that's the kind of sound that you're going for, and it tends to get lost. So my key there would, if you've got a really distorted sound, really gainy sound, is actually, see one of my other videos, you know, turn the gain down and maybe boost the mids a little bit. Remember, this is not you playing at home, this is playing live, and it's a very, very different thing. I'll also add that playing live, I have been running into a full range, full response monitor just in front of me. So no amp behind me, that's, you know, complete change, just all through the monitor. I take a direct out of the Line 6 into the monitor, that goes directly into the desk. Sound guy can control levels from there. I can kind of control level. I use the volume control here to sort out the level if it's a little bit quiet. That's my own kind of monitor level. I don't, you know, the band's usually loud enough and I can usually hear the things I want to hear, so I don't need anything else through my monitor. So it works really, really well. That's it. It's a great thing for getting, makes setups really, really easy. I suppose there's one thing I do wish they would have built in the wireless unit into it. That would have been fantastic. If you had the wireless built into the unit and could use my wireless pack, that would be awesome. Maybe in another edition. Hope you found that useful. Catch you later. I'd just like to say, if you found any of these tips useful and you'd like more, please do check out my guitar creativity book. It's 70 pages packed full of tips, advice, tricks to just help you improve, A, as a guitar player, and B, as a creative, really helping you to open your mind to the possibilities on the instrument and ways you can take your playing to the next level. You can check out a link below, and the link below, if you've watched this part of the video, will entitle you to 25% off the price. So please do click that link, check out the book. I'm sure you will find the ideas will change the way you think about the guitar and improve your playing no end.